I took my kids to Pont City Market a few weeks ago, and my daughter, she's 11, we pulled into the parking garage. She goes, "I know what that smell is." I was like, "What?" And she said, "That's weed." I was like, "What are they teaching you in school?" And I homeschool. So. I don't know what happened.
We are Moms Unhinged, a nationally touring stand-up comedy show. Join us in our podcast as we explore everything from motherhood, midlife crisis, marriage, divorce, online dating, menopause, and other things that irritate us. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moms Unhinged. Woo! I'm doing my show start.
Yes. Got to get the vibes right.
You guys, I am super excited. I'm your host, Andrea. I'm joined by the amazing Holly Ballantine. She is one of our Atlanta-based comedians. So funny. She has been traveling all over the world to come, all over the country with Moms Unhinged. She produces her own West End Comedy Festival in the Atlanta area. Welcome, Holly.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so fun. I just love these. I love these podcasts because it's like my excuse to talk to our comedians without being like in the middle of a show or whatever, like crazy times. So
I know. It's like we get there and then we start doing business. And then by the end of it, it's like, okay, let's get a drink and go to bed.
I know. So this is super fun. So I want to dive into a little bit of your story with homeschooling your 3 kids. Let's talk about that because that sounds unhinged to me.
Yes, it is. It is a little crazy. I feel like it's a little bit easier than people think because, like, y'all, if you don't homeschool your kids, you have to get up in the morning. You have to get everything packed and deal with carpool. I don't have to deal with that. I tell people when they ask me, I'm like, I just hated carpool. That's why I homeschool my kids. So I don't have to deal with that.
Carpools, converting everyone to homeschoolers. That does, yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, if you think of the time that you spend, like, getting your kids ready for school and then in carpool and all that, like, we're done, you know? It's like 3 hours or something like that, like, to knock everything out. And it's actually a little bit easier than people think. I don't have to deal with PTA meetings, you know. Right. I don't have to volunteer. I am the only volunteer.
Committee of one.
Yes. I sign up for everything. I bring the chips and the plates. All of it.
Dang it. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, if I think about the times where I have been probably angriest at my kids, it is getting ready to go to school. So, you know, I'm like, why aren't your shoes on?
Yeah. And I also get to use it like for my benefit to the kids because we'll be like going somewhere fun or something and we'll drive by school and like, see, that could be you. That could be you, but we're going to Chick-fil-A, you know, like they have it pretty easy when it comes to the hours that they spend doing school.
Right. Right. So did they enjoy it? What was the reason you kind of got into it? And how long have you been doing it?
So my oldest is 15 and he went to public school through 3rd grade. So
wow. Long time then.
Yeah. My daughter, she did kindergarten in public school. And then my youngest, who's 9, he's never been to public school. Wow. So we were on permissive transfer for a different school district, like a better one than the one we were zoned for. And then they just got so big, they stopped honoring permissive transfers. And we had kind of been talking about it. So once they didn't renew that, we were like, okay, I think that's our sign to try it. And it just works for us.
Yeah, that's great. And so do you have I'm assuming you've got some sort of curriculum that you follow or something that you use. It's not just like sort of like, hey, go read these encyclopedias, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of both. Like when I first started, I spent a ton of money on this like one-stop shop curriculum and my kids hated it. They were so bored and It was a little too easy. So I do my own thing, but I pull from a bunch of different resources. So I have textbooks just like you would have in school for all the subjects. And then I kind of do my own thing to supplement those things. I'm not just like, here's a worksheet, learn to spell,
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like, it can be just so, it's interesting because it can be just so tailored to each of your children. That's really cool that, it just really meets them where they're at. So
Yeah, it's nice, and there's a lot of repetition in public school that I didn't realize because like one kid would be in third grade and one kid would be in sixth grade, and I was like, why are y'all learning about adverbs? Like you already learned about them. Did you forget what an adverb is? Like, why are you learning about it again 3 years later?
it's the nuances of the adverb,
Yeah. The special one.
The advanced adverb section.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So, and then do you and your husband kind of tag team on some of the stuff, or like, how does that work?
Not really. No, not really. There's some science stuff. Like when we first started, I was like, you handle science, I'll handle everything else. And then my kids didn't do science for a little bit. So it's he has some things that when he finds out what we're learning about, he'll add in some stuff, but it's pretty much me, and he'll tell you that if you ask him to. It's pretty much mom.
Yeah, it's not like what I'm helping.
Yeah, no, yeah, he would admit it. It's pretty much me. But my oldest too, they do a lot of stuff independently now because they're older, and sometimes my daughter, I'll wake up and come downstairs and she's like, oh, I woke up at 6, I finished my school for the day. Like she just gets it done, gets it over with.
Wow. Yeah, that's a girl for you.
Yes. He's built differently than my sons, for sure.
That's really cool. Now, do they enjoy it? Do they like the independence of it, or are there times where they're like, I wish I could be, with more people, or how does that work?
They like it. My daughter, the only thing she says is she wants to go to school dances, and I'm like, well, find a boy that's in public school and he can take you to one. That's the only thing that she really talks about. Mm-hmm. She does company dance, and my youngest son, he plays basketball, so they get to meet people that way. And then my oldest, he played sports for a while. He was good, and then he decided he didn't like the yelling, even the positive yelling. He was like, not for me.
Too much yelling. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I am actually one of the yellers. I kind of get crazy where all the other parents, I'm like, it's positive. I'm never like, hey, you ref, but like, I'm kind of like, go, get out, go.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Even positive. I'm like, go. When they're trying to get him to write, and he's like, no, I don't like that. Even if you're helping me, I don't like it.
I am not going to do that. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah. The thing is like, there's so many different ways. I mean, so many different activities available to kids now. I just don't remember a lot of like extracurriculars. It was like you just had like the stuff at school, and that was kind of it. There weren't like all kinds of club sports or, outside activities that people could just sign up for. So I'm sure there's plenty to get involved with. But
Yeah, they have friends from when they were in school, or just from like playing sports, or like my friends' kids. My daughter, she has 3 best friends, and they're all named Emma.
Oh no.
3 Emmas. I'm like, is that? I think it's still the number 1 name, probably.
Oh,
I'm just like, we're done. 3 is the max. We cannot have a 4th Emma. No, but
you gotta drop one. If you find a new one, you gotta.
Yes, you gotta drop one. 4 Emmas is the max, and they all sound similar. 2 of them look similar. I'm like, it's too much. It's too hard.
Yeah, that's funny. Now, do you have other connections with homeschooling parents? Like, isn't there like, it seems like there's a lot of support for homeschooling nowadays, like where people get together in different areas, or what do you?
Yeah, there's a lot of Facebook groups. They have co-ops where you can come and take different classes. We don't do those types of co-ops. We tried it and my kids weren't really into that, but we do like the social aspect of it. So
Yeah.
there'll be like a Lego club, or they'll have like Nerf wars, and we'll go to the park and, everybody has Nerf guns, and we'll do stuff like that, the social activities, but the academic stuff, that we just do all that here.
Yeah. And then how does it work? You're on the road a lot. You're traveling a lot. How does that work when you are on the road with the homeschooling? Are they kind of self-motivated? I guess dad probably has to take a little bit of slack. Huh?
Yeah, so when I give them all their assignments, so they know what they have to do, and then my husband knows what they have to do. If I'm leaving towards the end of the week, like if I'm going to be gone because if it's Moms Unhinged shows, I'm gone earlier, but like if I'm doing my own stuff, I usually would leave on like a Friday.
Yeah.
But sometimes my kids, they'll just be like, here, we're just going to do our Friday school like during the week. So then by the time I leave, they're done. If it's like in the middle of the week, though, my husband, he'll oversee to make sure they get it done. But then sometimes I'm like, oh, looks like you missed 2 days of vocabulary or something like that for my youngest. But my oldest too, it's a little bit easier. They're a lot more self-motivated.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
care.
Yeah, that's great. And then I bet it's probably because it's kind of a shortened day, you can catch up kind of fairly easily if you miss a little bit, so that's nice.
And it's also good for me too, just like, because if I'm at home, I'm doing shows at night, but I don't have like mom guilt because I'm like, no, I'm good. I was with my kids all day. It's not like they got home at 5 and then I left. Like, We've been together all day. They're fine.
That's why you got into comedy, right? You're like, I've got to find an evening activity. Get me out of here.
Yeah. I know everyone's always like, where were your kids when you're at shows? It's like, with their dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the beginning of our marriage, he would travel internationally. Like he was in Japan for like 2 weeks and the kids were little. And I'm like, I've got some mulligans, like it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No one's asking, where's your wife?
No one asks the male comics that either. They're not like, who's taking care of your kids while you're out?
I know. So true. So true. So, that's a good segue into, I want to hear the story about how you did get into comedy. I'm assuming it wasn't just to escape your kids, which it is a good reason. Valid.
Yeah, it's a perk. It's not a reason. It's a perk. Yeah. My husband and I loved comedy and we would always go to comedy shows. And for his birthday one year, I got him tickets to see Dave Chappelle and Jon Stewart when they were on tour.
Man. Oh, my gosh.
It was at the Tabernacle in Atlanta, such a cool venue.
Oh.
And they had a special guest each night. And the night that we went, it was Chris Rock.
Oh,
it was It was so cool. So,
show.
Yeah, it was such a good show. And at the end of those shows, they would always do a Q&A and they would pick like 6 random audience members to come up to talk to them and ask a question. And I was like 3 Red Bull and vodkas deep. And I was the 6th person chosen. So I went to the front and there's like 2,000 plus people in there. And I'm waiting for my turn. And everyone was asking them, like political stuff like, oh, when are you going to run for president? And just different stuff like that. Yeah. And when I got up there, I was like, I'm just going to make them laugh. Like, I just want to make them laugh. And Chris Rock had told this story about how he had like cheated on an ex-girlfriend and the girl that he cheated with was trying to get back in touch with him and her name was Brandy and he was telling her he was a changed man, to stop calling. So when I got up there, I was like, well, first of all, I just want to say as Chris Rock's new girlfriend, I am not mad at Brandy and And I just made them all laugh. And then I did like a callback to something Jon Stewart said. And on the way home, I was like, if I can make those guys laugh, I could probably make other people laugh.
Yeah.
And I signed up for my first open mic in the Uber on the way home at Laughing Skull. Yeah.
No way. That is cool. Yeah. That is awesome. What a cool story. So, so Chris Rock, Jon Stewart, and
Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle. roped you in. They got you in there.
They did. I sent Chris Rock a message to tell him after I did it, and he didn't respond, but he did heart it. He did heart react to it. I think it was on Twitter. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, that is a good story. So when was that? How long have you been doing comedy now?
So it was 2018. So 7 years. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome. And I mean, like 7 years. And how long have you been running the West End Comedy Festival?
So we're coming up on our 5th year.
Wow.
So I think when we had our first festival, I was 3 years in, and there was another guy, Joe Pettis. He was like the mayor of Atlanta comedy. There was a group of us that had venues right next to each other. So he kind of started it, and then there was a couple other people. So it wasn't just me, like little baby, 3 years in on my own. You know, there was a group of us. Okay. And he did it for 2 years, and then after the second year, he wanted to focus on other things. So I took the reign. So I think I was about 5 years in when I became like the person in charge. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I was going to say that is pretty gutsy to be like taking that on when you're so new. Although, you know, some people do it. Like I know I have some friends who are like, hey, you know, this thing that I want to do, it's just not out there and I'm going to just do it. And they're like a new comedian running, you know, a multi-show thing. And I'm like, more power to you. And as long as you're not like, you know, as long as you're putting on a good show and really, you know, kind of treating everyone right, then I think it just like we need more of that. You know, it's hard. Definitely, it's hard to organize. So, how many people are usually in the festival?
So we say that we're going to accept at least 35. The past few years, we've had like 40 to 43 comics. We usually get around 600 submissions, and this next one, year 5, it's bigger and better than ever. We're doing 3 days. We have 8 headliners. Incredible headliners this year, and submissions are open now. Submissions have been open for I think 9 days, and we already have 150 submissions just in the first 9 days. So,
oh my goodness,
we'll see. Hopefully, it's good.
Yeah. So you're having to get through all of that and do all of that, plus tour on your own, plus homeschool. Plus, you know, whatever else is going on in your life. How do you do it all?
I don't sleep a lot.
It's a Red Bull. Red Bull and vodka.
I know, it's the Red Bull and vodka. People ask that all the time, like, you know, are you a night person or are you a morning person? I'm like, I kind of have to be both. Like,
yes.
I stay up till midnight, 1 a.m. and I wake up with the sun. Every day, which was even when I was at your house in Colorado, it's like whatever time the sun was up, that's when I was up. This is how I am. I can't help it.
Yeah, that is totally the same with me. It doesn't matter what time I go to bed. It just means that I'm getting less sleep because I cannot sleep in. It's like, you know, in summer, I get a lot more done because we have a lot more daylight. So
well, it's quiet too. It's, you know, sometimes it's hard to think with the chaos. And so it's like when everyone else goes to bed, that's when I'm like, okay, now it's me time. Now I can take care of what I need to take care of.
Because I mean, that's kind of an interesting thing because, you know, when I was starting my business before this business, I was doing it while the kids went to school. Like I was like, oh, thank goodness they're going to school now and I can, you know, focus. But, you know, school time's your time. So there's not a lot of you time. Although I'm imagining they're independent workers, so it's not like you're sitting there up at a chalkboard the whole time.
No, and I think that's what people think a lot of times at homeschool is that I'm up there like leading the lessons. It's like no, it's like this is the instruction. These are the instructions. If you need help, let me know. Like it's a lot of independent working, and then a lot of like out of the house, like hands-on types of stuff. Like when we were learning about fractions, like we just made pancakes. It's like this is, you know, 1/4 of a cup. This is 2 3 2/3. Like, you know, that we do a lot of hands-on stuff that's just not like nose in the book kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's fun. Yeah, that's fun. You've got a lot more leeway. There's no like, huge deal with going on a field trip where you gotta, you could just go on a field trip whenever you want,
Yeah.
So that's really great. I love that. Yeah, so one of the other things I love to ask people is like, what is an unhinged moment you have had, either like with your kids or with your mom or whatever it's been? I'd love to hear that story.
Well, there's so many.
I know.
I know.
I
It's like
know.
which one do you pick? When my kids were younger and my husband traveled a lot, we were also foster parents.
Oh
So
gosh.
yeah, we at one point I'm trying to think. I think Grayson was 6, Violet was 3, and then Emma was 2, and then I had like a 6-month-old. And yeah, and this was like right, but this was before comedy, and my husband traveled internationally, like I said, and he was in Japan, and I was done. We had had a checkup that day, a well check, and like our foster daughter at the time, Emma. I mean, I remember she was like wearing a dress, and she like ripped her diaper off in the middle of in the middle of the doctor's office. Like one of the kids it was like one of those situations that you see in a movie and you're like, how could parents ever let their kids like behave that way? But like I was outnumbered. Like I
Yeah.
just
Yeah. There's no letting your kids behave that way. It's
I
like they're
know.
just
I know. It's like, do I grab the one who's running around naked or the one that's about to fall off the table? Like, who do I pick? And
pick your favorite.
yeah. And then by the time we got home, I mean, I was done. And my husband was coming in from Japan like that day.
Oh, wow.
And then I just remember, like, I came in and I just kind of lost it on everyone. And I was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. I was like, whoever is quiet the longest, I was like, gets $20. And I was literally bribing young kids. I could have said like a lollipop and they would have indulged, but I was just so desperate. I was like, whoever's quiet the longest gets $20. And then to them, that's just like winning the lottery.
million.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just remember like my husband like coming in and just being like, is everything okay? Like, how is it dead quiet? Like there's no noise. And then I was like, oh, that's a me thing. And then of course they all went crazy after that. But
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, I'm literally bribing toddlers with money. Which I have started a trend because, like I told you before, I paid my son to help me set up the microphone and everything to do this podcast. So I think I started a trend like 11 years ago. That's just how we do it here.
I know, cash talks. All right.
Yes, yeah, it does. Yeah.
Oh my God. I think that's a great use of $20. I personally think that is so valid. I just feel like that's a parenting hack right there.
Yes.
I'm sure there's probably some
I
whatever, someone who's like, no, but you just do what you can do. I mean, it's so exhausting. I can't imagine. They're all so young and just like so much energy, much energy.
Yes. It was a lot to have. I think it was 4 under 6, and that's why. I mean, I do feel guilty when I go out of town a lot and stuff. But then I remember those days, and I'm like, at least they're all potty trained. I'm leaving you with 3 fully potty trained kids. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, that is wild. That is crazy. So you were foster parents. How long did you do that?
We were foster parents for, I think, 4 years. We did it for 4 years. And the last placement that we had, Emma, she was reunified with her mom, and we were really close to them. And then her and her mom moved in with us for a year after that.
Wow.
And yeah, she was wonderful. She's doing great. We're still close with all of our foster kids. were reunified with their birth parents. And we just stayed close with them. We still keep in touch with all of them. She's one of the Emmas. That's my daughter's best friend. That's her. She's one of the, that's Emma S. Emma S, yeah.
Oh, that's so neat. How wonderful. Like, what a great success story to have. And it's just like so nice to know, to still be part of their lives. Because I imagine you would get pretty attached to having them, after getting to know them and having them, living with them and taking care of them for a long period of time. That would definitely be hard to just kind of lose attachment or lose connection with them. So,
yeah, I know people tell me all the time, they're like, oh, I could never do that because I would just be too attached and not want them to leave. And it's like, then you'd be an awesome foster parent because that's what you want. You don't want a foster parent that's like, oh, thank God they're gone.
Right.
You want it.
Right.
It's supposed to be hard. That means you're doing it right.
Yeah. That means you're doing a good job loving them and being, being in connection with them. That's really important. And it's just so important for thriving later in life. So not to feel like this kid who gets kicked around and not wanted,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really great. Well, that's a wonderful thing. But I can't imagine, doing it as a single parent essentially for a couple of weeks while he was traveling.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a bit much. One time when we got Emma as our placement, they called us and we had said, oh, we can handle, someone that's maybe like around the age of like 1 to 2, because that's it, like right in the ages of our kids. We didn't want one older than our oldest, and we didn't want one younger than like our infant.
Yeah.
And we got a call and he was on a flight and I couldn't like talk to him about it, and I had to make a decision, and I was like, sure.
Oh my
So when he landed, I was like, that's probably a good unhinged moment. I was like, surprise, we have another one.
We've got another baby.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, that is. But it sounds like he must be very. If you're both agreeing to the foster parent, you must both be on the same page with that. So that's really great too.
He's good. He's pretty chill. Go with the flow. He's a good dad.
Yeah. And how long have you been married now?
15 years. Don't do the math.
Well, I love your bit. I love your bit about that. The father of my children.
Yeah. I couldn't wait. It's funny, when one anniversary, my husband always, for our anniversary, he gets me whatever the year is, like if it's paper or whatever, and 1 year was paper. So he had one of those things printed out, and it's like Holly and Jason, and it's like the year we got married, and then it has all our kids. So it's like Holly and Jason, 2010, Grayson, 2010. And it's just at our front door for the world to see.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's great. But that's great that that it all has it sounds like you guys have just a really fun household, and that's great. So
Yeah,
I love it.
we do.
And he's not traveling quite as much these days.
No, he doesn't really have to travel much at all. The company he works for is based out of Columbus, Georgia, which is a couple hours away. So he has to go there maybe once or twice a month, but no more international travel.
That's
For
good.
him, hopefully for me, but
Yeah, that's right. That's when Moms Unhinged is going international.
Yes.
And we'll be doing that.
Yes.
Now, do you ever take your kids on the road or anything like that?
I do. Yeah, we do. We do that a lot. I did some shows. They've been to Asheville. They've been to Nashville. They've been to Florida, Texas. They haven't. The first time that they ever flew with me, I did a show at Hollywood Improv, but it wasn't for. We didn't go for that reason. We were doing like a vacay. But when they tell the story, they're like, "Oh, my mom had a show, so we went." And it's like it's not really that cool. I picked up a show because we were already going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
So that's the only time we've like flown. But Atlanta is like right in the middle of so many great cities.
Right.
It's like 4 hours away from pretty much everything. So we've done a lot of little family vacays where they just come with me on the road, and then I go do the shows, and we, do fun stuff during the day.
Yeah, I love that. Now, have they seen you perform?
Yes and no. I mean, they've never like actually been to a show, but the Punchline here does an outdoor show for Avalon, like a shopping center. And one of the worst shows I've ever done in my whole career was like 3 years ago. And they were outside walking in all the shops. And when I met back up with them, my daughter was like, Mommy, we heard you telling jokes, but we didn't hear anyone laughing.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Like, well, that's because they weren't, honestly.
And that's and honestly, that's outdoor comedy half the time. So you know, it just is always a little weird outside.
I used to be better about posting stuff on YouTube, but my oldest, he's like, he makes a bunch of videos. He has like 25,000 subscribers. I keep trying to get him to share my stuff, and he says no. But YouTube's like the big thing for that age. They're on YouTube a lot, and I posted the clip that you were talking about couldn't wait to get married because I was already pregnant. And then it was probably like a year ago, and someone commented and they were like, "Are you Grayson's mom?"
Oh gosh. Oh boy.
And I was like, I think my jokes have reached the wrong part of the internet. Yeah. And of course it had to be that joke too.
I know, right? I know, of course. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it is a challenge. I didn't let my kids see my comedy for a little while, but they've seen it now that they're older. They can appreciate that.
Yeah.
Mom doesn't hate them,
Yeah. Yeah, they've heard. I mean, they've seen me edit clips and stuff. They haven't been to a show. I'd probably let my oldest. He just doesn't want to yet. He may eventually, but right now he's like, I'm good. You're not cool. I'm sure his friends think it's cool that I do comedy, but I don't know that he thinks it's cool.
He will someday. So, well, this has been so much fun, Holly. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And why don't you let people know where they can find you online?
You can find me on Instagram. It's at Holly Not Valentine. My last name is Valentine, but it's just easier to spell Valentine. So it's Holly Not Valentine, or my website, hollyballantine.com.
Yep. And we'll have those links in the show notes. So thank you so much again. And thanks everyone for tuning in.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. This was a blast. Thanks for having me.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for listening. And make sure you subscribe, share, and follow us on the socials to get more comedy clips.